Hi, hello, it's Monday. I'm wearing the pumpkin sweater. The temperatures are allowing me to be cool again. And I was like, this needs a little something, but I didn't want to wear earrings today because those are not fun for me to wear to campus. Earrings give me sensory issues really quickly, so I'm just making like a little bandana thing. That's almost finished, which is good because I almost have to go, so yay. I don't really have a plan for this week. There's no like I don't have any commissions yet. I have some people who were maybe going to talk to me, but haven't heard yet. Don't have any commissions currently. Don't have any deadlines, craft wise at least. I do have some uni deadlines. Um, so I'm just gonna be doing whatever I feel like this week. I also haven't really had the thought of a big project that I want to work on, so we'll see what I do. It's gonna be like impulse crafting, which is good because I don't have that much free time this week at all. I'll see you later tonight. Actually, first let me show you what I'm taking to campus with me. It's gonna be this. I'm working on a little mesh shawl that I also mentioned last week. It's in the color Generational Wealth from the Queerdo collection. I forgot what yarn base it is and I threw away the label. So it's either Spellbound or Agnes Free Ply. I don't know. I do not know, but it's soft and it's nice. And I think it was Aiden's color Undercover Other. Yeah, I gotta go get ready for class though. Bye bye. Hi, hello, it is now evening. I finished the bandana. Very slay, very cool. Class was fine. Got some rows in on this, and I'm gonna continue doing that now while I watch TV with my friends. Standard evening. Very cool, very fun. I have the internship early tomorrow, so I will probably sleep relatively early if everything goes well. The internship does have a shortened schedule tomorrow because just the school is having some meetings and stuff. You know how they have shortened schedules when the teachers have a bunch of stuff to do? And I thought that would be my problem, but it's not my problem yet, so I also have a shortened schedule. Hell yeah. Slay, that means I get more craft time or more time to prep for my Wednesday classes. We will see. Most of the Wednesday prep is already done. I'm so on top of things. Yeah. TV time. Bye. Hi. Hello. It is Thursday evening. I don't know where the past few days went, honestly. I was at uni and at the internship, and then I got home and I socialized with my friends, and then I went to bed. That was basically my week. I got good progress on the shawl. Very nice, very good. For uni classes were just classes, it was fine. I did my reading, I did my assignments, it's all going okay. I'm a little bit annoyed at the code switching, right? This is not basic vocabulary. Code switching in this case means switching between two languages either every other sentence or in the middle of sentences. And I used to do that a lot. And I also do that a lot in casual language. So like in the house talking to my friends. But the difference here is that casual language, one, doesn't have to be correct. And two, you pick whatever option of the two languages both people speak is easiest at that moment. That's the way I am used to code switching, right? The first term you remember, the first grammatical structure you remember, whatever. Language is language, communication is the most important part there. For university, the code switching that we're doing is a lot of the papers and a lot of the information we're getting is given to us in English, right? All of the texts we're reading are English, except maybe two of the books. And then most of the lectures and seminars are actually in Dutch now. Because this is a Dutch master's degree, right? It's a master's degree in teaching English as a second language in high school context. But we are in the Netherlands. I am Dutch. I am not used to academic Dutch. This is weird to me. And then if we still use the terminology in English, because that's how you see it in the papers most often, I am very tempted to just do the whole thing in English, but that's not what we're doing. And a lot of the seminars are also mixed with people who will teach Spanish or German or French or Dutch, and they might not be as comfortable with English, or it's not very polite for me to do that in that case, and it's been weird. And then I'm at the school, right? I'm interning and I'm talking to students, and then basically everything is in Dutch. And I'm not very used to that anymore. I feel like I'm adapting pretty okay, but sometimes I do like the English version of Dutch, almost like Dutch is my second language, and it's weird. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked there, I think. I'm not sure what I was talking about before. But yeah, uni classes went fine. The internship, I taught a full class, bell to bell, like the entire class hour, on a shortened schedule. This week was the shortened schedule. It was 35 minutes, not 45 minutes. But still, full class. And I think that went okay. There is stuff to improve, of course. It would be super weird if there wasn't, because this is really early on in me teaching. But there were also a lot of things that did go very well. And one of those things is what I think is a very important part is my lesson planning. So like what I was actually going to do with them, and kind of like the improv responding to stuff. That was pretty okay. That was nice. I'm happy about that. That's good for my confidence. Slay. Winning. This evening I again have socializing with my friends scheduled. It's all like socializing on a Discord call, not socializing in real life. I think I would have actually perished if I went out and socialized in real life after being at uni and internship and being very social. But that probably means I won't update you a lot on this anymore. And tomorrow I also don't have a lot of time to update you because I'll be going to my parents to get my wisdom teeth removed at the dentist near them. And after that I'm switching to a dentist here, so I don't have to travel 2 hours to go to the dentist anymore after this. It's gonna be wonderful. You don't go to the dentist all that often, but it is really annoying that when you need to go, or when it's like a checkup or something, that it takes a long, long time. That is really annoying. So I'm happy I'm switching. Very happy. Also happy that I'm getting my wisdom teeth removed because they've been hurting, but maybe not happy about the process of the wisdom teeth getting removed, because I heard that is annoying a few days after, and I just have work the next day, so I sure hope it's not that bad for me. Yeah, I am going to work on this, maybe time lapse, and then I'll update you later, maybe in the morning. Bye. Hi, good morning. I have to go in like 10 minutes. Yikes. I really don't wanna. But I finished. I still need to weave an end, but I'm not doing that right now. I finished the shawl. That's a comfortable size. Amazing. And I made a matching bandana that also needs the ends weaved in. That's also just a good size for one of those things. It needs blocking, and I tie them like under my hair. I don't know how you're supposed to do it, but that's how I do it, under my hair, behind my ears. And for that way of wearing it, this is the correct size. Matching set, awesome. And this is how much yarn I have left. That's a little scrap. Putting that in my little scrap box for the fancy yarns that I get from these little indie dyers, because what I'm doing with these scraps is I'm just collecting all of them until I have enough to make a very scrappy project with it. And then it's going to be like a million different fibers and colors, and it's going to be really chaotic, and that's going to be fun for me. I'm bringing this with me on the train and bus and stuff. Hold up, I'm sitting on the yarn. This is my corner to corner blanket. Just stripes. This is the yarn that's currently attached to it. And this is yarn from the Woah Yarn Company. I got this in like a sale he was doing at some point. These are colors I would not have picked myself. It was like a mystery thing. I'm gonna need to check my notes. I'm pretty sure this is in a 4mm, but I don't want to bring the wrong hook with me and then not be able to work on it at all. I'm also bringing with me the little e-reader because for class, for my literature class, we have to read 1984. Not the most comfortable thing to be reading right now, but it is a good book, and I do recommend reading it. In general, I really like the reading list for this literature class. This class is about like teaching literature in high school, right? Because I'm doing a teaching thing. And the reading list for English is 1984, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, The Hate You Give, you know, that young adult novel about racism, and there's a movie adaptation. I keep forgetting it because it's not a book, but yeah. I think that's a really good list. I think 1984 and The Boy in the Striped Pajamas are really good classics for high schoolers to get into reading classics. Because if I remember, I've read both of these books before. It's been a while, which is why I'm rereading them for the class. They are classics with a very clear story. And the historical setting is one that high schoolers have usually had. And you can have very intense, deep-going discussions about it, but understanding the novel on like the baseline level is not that difficult. And for both of them, the language use is close enough to current language use for it to not be super difficult. I would prefer reading 1984 with my class over having to have them read Shakespeare, because the language use might be like a roadblock for them. Even though I do think most students would like Shakespeare just because he's so silly goofy. But anyway, I'm happy with this reading list, and I'm especially happy that there is what is technically a young adult novel in the literature list for a uni course, because I have very strong opinions on what is considered literature and how that's very restrictive. And I feel like reading in general should just be encouraged, regardless of the quality of the story. And something being labeled as young adult does not necessarily mean it's not a good book, because The Hate You Give is amazing. I always use The Hunger Games as an example. That book series is also amazing, and you can have very good discussions about it. Anyway, I have opinions. I have no time for these opinions right now. I need to get my bag ready, put this in my bag, find my hook. This is so soft and nice. I haven't worked on this in a hot minute. Ooh. Okay, I need to go. I will update you tonight. Depending on how I'm feeling tonight, after I get my wisdom teeth out, that might be the end of the video. Because if I'm feeling really ugh, I'm not gonna force myself to talk to you, because that's not gonna be comfortable for you either. You're not gonna enjoy that if I'm feeling icky. I've rambled enough to fill the time anyway. Bye. Hello, it is later. I lived, and it was fine. Here's my progress on the green. On my way back, when my face was still like fully numb, I was working on this on the train, and like a group of grandmas just sat in. It was like one of those four-seaters, right? Like two seats, and then across from you there's another two seats facing you. I was sitting in the corner of one of those, and just three grandmas sat on the other seats, and they started gushing about how pretty the yarn was, and I was like, oh my god, I know. So it was fun. Yeah. I think I'll be fine this weekend. I hope. Do not jinx this. But I am sleepy, tired, and grumpy from having to be on a train. So I am going to grab my book and read. Cozy, comfy in bed. And I will probably see you tomorrow, maybe. Probably. Hi, hello. I fixed my ends. Where is it? Here, center. And yeah, this one too. Ends are fixed. And I took this to work with me today. Had the whole cutesy. This was mostly just like a hip accessory instead of a shoulder accessory because it was too warm. It was randomly 25 degrees again. I just got out my cozy comfy sweaters, man. What the hell? So mad. Anyway, I also got some more progress in on this today. Very, very cool. This is how we're doing on the yarn for that. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna put this back in the storage and work on something else. But it was nice to make some progress on this again. It's comfy, it's nice. It's very bright. And it will get done eventually. I am going to sit here for like another hour or so and do this, and then I'm going to bed again. Bye-bye. Okay, hello, good afternoon. It stopped being morning. I finished this game. I was not expecting that, but I decided that I wanted to do that. So this is how big the green got to be. That's pretty good. It's like almost as much, or even as much. No, one less than the blue, I think. Very cool. Folding this up and putting it back in storage to add to again next time. It's gonna be decreasing after this, so that's cool. That's fun. 2 more colors. I'm not sure if I showed you this in proper lighting yet, because I can't remember if I only showed you in the evenings, but it's very nice. It's very muted in color, but it's very cozy comfy and finished. Yeah, that was all for this week. Bye bye.